Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of
Everybody could jump. Dude.
I'm your host Jacob. So I'm a junior at Calvary and I like to play soccer. I'm gonna call to everybody else to introduce themselves. Claire, why don't you start us off?
I'm Clara. I'm a senior at Calvary, and I like to draw.
Nice. Eli?
Hey y'all, I'm a junior at Calvary, and I like to play chess.
Ben?
Yeah, my name Ben. I'm a junior at Calvary, and I like to hunt.
Nice.
Nice. So today we're going to be talking about The Problem of Pain by C.S. Lewis.
Yeah, we got 3 questions that we're going to share our thoughts on today about the origin of the supernatural, animal pain, and the problem of pain.
So without further ado, let's dive right into our first topic.
Okay, the first question is, using current and historical literature, Lewis states that we do not know how far back in human history the feeling of the supernatural goes. It somehow came into existence, is widespread, and does not disappear from the mind with the growth of knowledge and civilization. How does our world today attempt to explain the supernatural? What sources seek to influence our understanding of the supernatural?
Okay.
Eli, would you like to share your thoughts?
Yeah, for sure. We're just going to kind of do open discussion, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I forgot this when we did the demo too, but what's the word he uses for...
Numinous.
Numinous, thank you. I like the kind of the topic that he when he talks about numinous. That wasn't a sentence. But the idea that kind of we've, throughout all of human history, some of that was supernatural, some that didn't end up being, some like whatever the explanation for it is, there really has always been this kind of sense of
We don't know everything.
we don't know everything, and that's both scary and like impressive, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also it's just throughout civilization we've grown to have to be content with that too, because
Right.
we've had to strive for perfection but being content with not reaching it.
Yeah.
And that applies to knowledge of the supernatural also.
Yeah, but there is of course benefit in wanting to delve deeper into things and wanting to ask questions.
Yeah.
That's
And-
the striving for perfection.
Yeah.
Humans always want like a deeper understanding.
Mhm.
of
Yeah,
things.
because so long as we just keep asking questions, we're gonna slowly get a more and more complete idea of our universe, and like you said, we might not get a perfect understanding of it, but we can get really close at least.
Yeah.
And that's like how we learned that a lot of the original things that people thought were supernatural are really just natural phenomena.
Like lightning isn't God getting mad and shooting bolts at us.
Yeah.
It's electricity being attracted to the ground. It's like
Yeah.
I feel like the more we learn, the more we find our purpose. I mean, like, the more I know, the more I understand the direction that I need to go.
okay.
And like one kind of like a different part of the question about like how does the world attempt to explain the supernatural? Like I feel like the world often like falls to explaining like ancient or even like or like early experiences of supernatural things as people either being insane and like just seeing things, or like not knowing what they saw and like kind of like talking about like seeing lightning thinking it was God. Like there's kind of things like people didn't actually see that kind of thing. Like, it's really discredited.
Yeah.
Which I think definitely happened.
Yeah. So
It's just
there's always gonna be like attention seeking things.
there's gonna be that one guy who sees fire and goes, "Oh, it's a spirit from the
There's always gonna be that stuff. But also I think that not believing these certain things also inhibited our speed of progress throughout reaching these new discoveries in a way. But steering back on topic, how does our world attempt to explain it? I would say it does a lot of things, but the one thing that it typically strays from accrediting it to is God. But there's a lot of things that simply just are explained through that.
Right.
But there's a lot of things like Eli said, like there's lunatics and they didn't actually see this and it's probably just some little thing that we haven't discovered yet. No, it could be the Spirit of God, and like there could genuinely be other things that were in the spiritual realm that we just simply can't understand.
Yeah.
It's like we're always not going to understand the entire glimpse of our universe and those things that we can't explore as we approach the limits of human knowledge. That remainder will always be the supernatural realm through God that we can't understand.
Yeah, it's like we there's definitely like a lot. Like, we understand a lot more now than we ever have in history.
Yeah.
But there's definitely we've just gone from not knowing what lightning is to not knowing like if the graviton is real or something.
Yeah,
you know? Like, we just
not knowing what happens when black holes collapse or something.
Exactly. Like you know, like the field equation. Like we've
definitely graduated from elementary topics.
Right. The and it's not to say that like the like ancient like philosophers and scientists weren't geniuses. They were. It's just the more time we eventually get to more.
And we have more resources.
We have a larger we have a larger body of knowledge that we can base our ideas off of. Like if we started without any of that body of knowledge, we'd be asking the same questions as the people way back when. But since we have the opportunity to hear like the answers that they had to those same questions, we can ask new questions that they couldn't get to because they didn't have all of the basis that we have through them.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
And another aspect of this question, what sources seek to influence our understanding of the supernatural? I mean, that is just the definition of a beneficial sphere to be able to impact, because if you can influence what people blindly believe, then you can just gaslight them into doing anything. And that's why this is such a powerful sphere to be correct in. And that's why there's many biblical scholars that believe biblical teachers will be judged harsher than others because they have such an important role. It's like you can't get something wrong. This is eternity that we're dealing with. Yeah. But also, it's if you do get it wrong for your own sake, you're gonna be immensely worldly powerful.
Right.
It's a very big and important and beneficial sphere for you that you can utilize if you gain full access of it. So for that reason, almost everybody and everything is going to be attempting to gain control of that. Yeah.
So your answer for the what sources seek to influence our understanding of the supernatural is basically just like people like spiritual leaders or something with bad intentions, or
those are some like
some people who do it.
Yeah, they could do it like that. There could be people who think that the more you donate, the better place in the afterlife you get, and they can convince you to believe that. So
Who's that megachurch pastor?
Jesus wanted me to buy this private jet, so I had to take all of your money.
It's those kinds of corporations, those kinds of mega important people.
Don't say his name; he'll sue us.
But there's always going to be these things that you try to utilize the importance and the most important thing in life. Attempt to use it for personal gain.
They're trying to take advantage of people that follow their religion to take advantage of them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So our next question, what do you think about Lewis's chapter on animal pain? Will our pets be with us in heaven because they somehow acquired their selves by being subject to us?
No. Cannot get up fast enough.
You pre-moved that.
Yeah. You were like about to interrupt Eli that whole time.
Yeah.
So
you guys listening can't see him. He was crouched in his chair, like up against the microphone. Like,
another thing we're learning about Jacob is that he has absolutely no heart.
I do have a heart,
we're
but
also learning that he's autistic.
But I personally don't believe that. I personally don't believe that it is a spiritual wrong to kill an animal for the gain of a human being. And
okay, can I clarify?
Yeah, I think you need to heavily clarify that statement.
Tell me if this is what you mean, because if it's not, I think you're a
You're the
psychopath.
type of guy that just goes around and steps on frogs.
No.
Magnifying glass to burn ants.
Yeah.
Purposefully putting worms onto the pavement in the sunlight.
I just don't do that
Picks up a squirrel by its tail.
I don't do that because that is of no gain to me.
Yeah.
Just walk past the frog and be like, oh, you on the sidewalk.
So is this what like the idea that a human life is intrinsically more valuable than an animal one? So if put in a position where, like, if you choose between the two, or a great harm will come to a human if you choose to let an animal live, like, the human should be prioritized?
Yes, but I feel like great harm is an overstatement.
No,
I feel like if you're saying that, if there's an ant biting me, you feel bad for squashing it.
Oh, no.
It's like... No, it's like the ant isn't going to cause significant harm. It's going to itch for.
Now there is a very human thing which you don't have because you're autistic.
I don't think that's that.
No, but there's a very human thing of having. There's a very human thing of like animals that we perceive as cuter.
Yeah, and then also it's
we want to harm less.
It's cuter, but it's also ones that we can see as more human-like.
Yeah.
And it's like, why is an ant worth more?
I'd kill a gorilla.
Or why is an ant worth less?
More than a dog.
Why is an ant worth less than a dog? The reason why is because we've adopted this mindset about the two. We've adopted ants are bad and they are borderline not even living to us. They're just like, phew, get off of me. And then for dogs, it's, these are our best friends and all that.
Hope nobody in our class is an ant farm or else.
Yeah, but
if you have an ant farm, you're a freak. No offense to any ant farm.
You got an ant farm, get out of here.
If you got an ant farm, those aren't pets. That's just like a box.
So. No, but like that is a human thing to kind of associate.
Yeah, it's just attributing to what something that is like what is wrong to do something with.
Yeah. And so the other part of this question is like, do we think our pets will be with us in heaven? And Jacob is once again pouncing to answer.
No. They simply won't be because they.
I'm gonna roll with a yes.
Like, I mean, in my sorry to interrupt, but like, because in my personal interpretation of the Bible, because first state this thing, I believe in human evolution, but I think that the thing that sets humans apart from the rest of the animal kingdom is that we possess a soul, we possess the ability to have a relationship with God. And in that way, we are unique in the fact that we will have the chance to live eternally with God in the afterlife. And our pets, they're not humans. They don't have souls. They're not able to have that relationship with God. And so so if they were to be able to go to heaven as well, then that would kind of eliminate the whole theme of the Bible being God's relationship with humanity.
Right.
You know?
The simple answer is just souls.
Yes.
Yeah. A soul is what ties us to God, and a sinful soul is the reason why Jesus had to die.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
it's just souls are what our relationship to God is, and it's not life because ants aren't going to heaven.
Exactly. I think the thing of it is like it comes back to that very like, human thing of the animals that like we love and build connections to. We want to see, because like there's a very human thing to say, oh, I won't like my dog to be with me in heaven.
Yeah.
But like every tree that gets cut down isn't going to heaven.
Yeah.
You know?
Like if I see my dog, and then some dude's about to get hit by a car, but my dog's right there, I'm saving my dog from being hit by a car.
Yeah.
That's a crazy tip.
I'm not kidding. That's
and if I don't know the dude, honestly.
Yeah, that's my little number one, bro. That thing.
Lola's dying.
I love my dog.
Lola's dying tomorrow if that choice has to be.
You're unloved for that.
I'm unloved.
I'm
unloved.
I hope you're the one in front of the car.
Ben would save a dog that is a stranger over you.
I think that this is a prime example.
Nah, I'd run up and be like, "Yo, do you like dogs?" She's like, "Nah, I'm a cat person." Snap.
Okay, this is a prime example of ISIS.
He'd push you in front of a car.
Yeah.
This is just reading into the Bible what you want.
Right.
So you're just like, oh, I love my dogs. I want to see them later. Let's see if I can find where. Let's see if I can try to manipulate this to where it's not about souls. It's not about this. It's really simple. It's just
it's like
have
there will
soul.
be animals in heaven, but not like
how we have them here.
Right.
Okay. I think that we should probably move on to the next question because we got
very true. I'm kind
8
of
minutes
hungry.
left. Okay, so overall, how has the book helped explain the problem of suffering? Who would like to start this out?
Yeah, so I with me, how it has helped explain it is that it's not God choosing this. It's sort of human beings' execution of their free will, the repercussions of that.
Yeah,
right.
And I think that the distinction that Lewis made in the book between like God being all powerful and God doing like having the power to do everything that is possible, but if something's like fundamentally contradictory, then God not necessarily can't do it. It's just like there's
right. Just because you can put words together doesn't mean it says anything.
Yeah, and so I think that that's a very important distinction to make in the context of the problem of pain, because a lot of people say that it's like God can do everything, so like if he can't help like if he can't do this for us, then he's not real. That kind of thing is like, yeah, he is all powerful, but he can't do things that are just fundamentally not possible.
It's just the manipulation of reality. That's not what God is.
Yeah.
God is all powerful, but there is still reality that is there.
Yeah.
And I think there's kind of like, I think that Lewis talks about a lot, of like, God either allows pain or free will, allows pain and free will together, or neither.
Yeah.
But you can't have one without the other.
Uh-huh.
That's I phrased that
1,000%. Yeah.
I phrased that wrong at first, but yes.
It's because if there's pain, God didn't cause that pain, but that means that God gave free will to something that did cause that pain.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And then if there is free will, that means that there's total free will, even to cause pain.
God allows some things to happen.
Yeah.
That we don't want to happen, but I mean, there's trials.
And then also, the problem of suffering. Suffering isn't always a bad thing. It's because suffering can be used for the good of like you as a person.
Help you grow
as a person.
Yeah.
Like some things that you can view as bad that aren't going to wind
It's
up
like
being
there's some suffering that God uses to better our character and to like not only because like God knows everything. He doesn't need us to prove our faith to him, but there is an aspect of like making sure that we can prove our faith to ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, because God knows God knows our intentions, God knows our heart, but we don't always know our heart. And so he's like showing us that we can like lean on God when things are difficult. He's like proving to us that we can rely on him.
Yeah.
And I find it interesting because like not all suffering is being used to better our character or like prove that to us necessarily. There is an aspect of just like some suffering being a product of free will that God then can change the impacts of, I guess.
Yeah. And like there's the kind of the object lesson that Lewis uses. It's kind of a really common thing in talking about pain and suffering. Of like if a parent like punishes their kid for doing something wrong, is that bad parenting? No. Like
no, it's
teaching
them.
It's like temporary pain to avoid the pain that's down the road.
Exactly.
Yeah, like slapping of the hand when they're reaching for boiling water. It's less pain, but it's still pain to show you to not do it again.
Right.
It's for the betterment of you.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so, well guys, that was fun. And always remember, everybody could jump.
Yeah!
Yeah, let's go guys.
I'm going to eat.